Good morning, early afternoon almost. Um, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving Day holiday. Um, Most people ask me why, Drew, would Satanists believe in Thanksgiving too? And why do so many? Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm a generational Satanist. And generational Satanists, our Thanksgiving Day was still a European harvest festival, to be sure. But we took it a step further, right? Because we called it Thanksgiving to Satan Day. Okay. And what we mean by that is we're thanking Satan for all Satan has given us, all the infernal blessings we've received the entire year prior to the end of the year and our new year, which Samhain marks. So, that being said, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Just remember to give thanks to Satan. Okay. But that's the key thing, right? All right. With generational Satanists, it's more than a key thing. It's just a matter of belief for us. Okay. And let's go and get involved here with what Drew wants to talk about today. Now, my son Anvar and I, in a Brotherhood of Saint Council meeting here at the national office some months back, we're discussing different videos and things that we might like to present in the future for the Brotherhood of Saint and for our supporters and our viewers, right? And what we came up with was, and at first we were just joking around, but what we came up with was 13 easy steps to become a Satanist. And sorry about being a little bit loud there. I'm trying to get people to kind of keep it quiet in the living, in my hallway outside my office. Okay. I need one of those lights that says Drew's Live, outside my door. Anyways, it's all good. So today we're talking about the 13 easy steps to become a Satanist. Wow. And of course, that's in my Master Counselor Book of Devilish Deeds, because was written down when it was discussed in that meeting, that we would cover this, right? And of course, Drew, as Emeritus Master Counselor, sometimes leads the way on some of these things. So yes, How to Become a Satanist in 13 Easy Steps by Druidian Pendragon, right? And the Brotherhood of Satan. As discussed with the Brainchild by Archhigh Priest Ambar and Archhigh Priest Drew, me. Okay, so we're going to talk about these things, and I think this is a really cool thing to talk about. Now, I've age restricted this video because, again, generationals, we believe, like I was taught, we believe that, we want to teach our kids, but we teach them within our family unit where the safety is there for us and for our kind, right? So in the public, of course, to become a member of Brotherhood of Satan, the new Brotherhood generation, for instance, you have to be 18 years old because we don't want peer pressure. We don't want people giving kind of being an influential on them, being an influence on them where they can't make their own informed decisions as an adult, right? So Brotherhood of Satan is it has to be of your own free will and accord, but you absolutely must be 18 years old to become a member because you're participating in things. Younger than that, you can bring heat on the parents of those children and all kinds of things like that. And as an organization, we don't do that. We do follow the laws of the land the best we can and those kinds of things, right? Okay. So it is an age-restricted video. Believe me, I would love to have some things I could teach the kids. And maybe at a later date, those things may be able to be done, outside of our generational families. It's a discussion for another date when things have become a little more accepted, right? We're just entering the Aquarian age, or just entering the age of Saint. This is what people need to know. The Brotherhood did lay the groundwork back in the 60s. Okay. And we said, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And the age of Satan and the age of Aquarius are one and the same, my friends. Okay. But guess what? We're now entering the age of Satan. So all these things are really, really important, right? That we're discussing and we're going to bring out into the open more And the Brotherhood's been the most secretive of all organizations on the planet. That's just who we are. It's how we've always been. You got to be a spokesperson to speak for the Brotherhood. And if you go out and try to speak for something like Brotherhood of Darkness or the Brotherhood of Satan or even the Brotherhood, just as the Brotherhood itself, and you're not an accepted, chosen person for that position, you're going to be held to ridicule. And I wouldn't want the return from the demons for doing something, for falsely presenting yourself as something you're not. Okay. All right. But let's move on. Now, remember, when you're discussing something like the 13 easy steps to become a Satanist, Drew's always going to be discussing it objectively, correct? So I'm also discussing the issue of should Satanists remain just solitary or should Satanists join an organization? And those kind of things too, right? I want to talk about that too in this. But let's start out because the generational brotherhood, right? The foster parent of the the new Brotherhood generation, Brotherhood of Satan. We're always going to, first thing we're going to expound, and we're going to tell you to become a real Satanist, you must be a theistic Satanist. You have to really believe in Satan. So what do you think our first easy step to become a Satanist is going to be if the Brotherhood's talking about this subject? Absolutely correct. It's going to be, number one, a real theistic belief in Satan. Now, you've got to have a real theistic belief in Satan, okay? Because if you're going to take those steps, whether solitary or organizational, you've got to really believe in Satan. That power of belief, I cannot understate it enough, guys. I say it over and over. Belief is where the magic lies. You must believe. If you don't really believe, you're going through motions and you're dabbling. The Brotherhood does not dabble. We are masters at what we do. And we've learned that from many, many years of experience. From what? Practicing it and living its philosophy. The philosophy of the left-hand path and of Satan. So, a real theistic belief, of course, that's the first step of the 13 steps of becoming, easy steps of becoming a Satanist. Okay. So step number 2, rejection of religious falsehood. Okay. That's going to be an absolute must as number 2, right? And why? Because you've got to get rid of all that background, okay? That false background. If you're not a generational, you've had some kind of influence that's religious somewhere along the line, okay? If you're not generational, a generational Satanist, you've been influenced by that shit, conditioned, as I call it, brainwashed, whatever you want to call it. So a rejection of all religions, falsehood, because it's all falsehood. What do they call sin, for instance? Our satanic natural instinct is sin to them. Wow. Okay. Drew doesn't have to waste time with that, right? Because I think we all understand the importance of the rejection of that past heresy in somebody's life. And I use that word heresy because we're not the real heretics. They are. That fake Christian religion is. Okay. Another little bit of Brotherhood lore there. Okay. All right. And then number 3 on our steps is the study of satanic philosophy. Okay. This is a must do. You want to know satanic philosophy, right? In order to live, there's the word, live as a Satanist. So in the 13 easy steps to become a Satanist, you're definitely going to want to understand satanic philosophy. Study it inside out, know what the fuck it means and what it's saying. Okay? Because all roads in Satanism lead to, hopefully, to self-empowerment of the individual Satanist. Amen, bingo, and so mote it be. When I say amen, by the way, I mean Amen. Amen Ra, but that's another story. Okay. Or Amun, our demon. Ram-headed demon in ancient Egypt. Okay. So that's the study of satanic philosophy. A must. And it's a charm. It's the 3rd step. Right? 3 is a charm. Okay. 4. Your personal satanic commitment decision. Okay. You want to make that decision before you do any other steps behind this. You have to take a personal satanic commitment decision and make that decision on a personal level yourself. Satanism is individualism, remember. Even a satanic order can't show you how to do that. You have to do that first yourself as an individual Satanist. Okay. Drink my coffee like my soul black. Okay. So you want to do that one-on-one satanic commitment when you make that decision, right? Now, let me tell you a little secret. Satan and the demons know what's in your heart. Okay. That's the first place the black flame gets kindled in. Remember that. Okay. So your personal satanic commitment decision, yeah, that's very, very important. And it's got to be done by you personally. We're all about individualism, remember. Solitary or organizational Satanists. We'll talk about something about that a little bit later. 5, satanic dedication rite, personal or organizational. Okay. Your 5th step, you want to actually, you've made the commitment decision in the step just previous to that. You've made that commitment with Satan. Now you want to show Satan a personal action of yours. Usually it's with blood. Okay. The satanic dedication rite, personal or organizational. Now, solitary Satanists, individual Satanists that are not part of an org are going to go through that if they're going to take real steps to become a Satanism, whether they're easy or not. And to be honest with you, they're not exactly easy steps, right? They're personal steps, personal commitment steps you got to make. Okay. And the satanic dedication rite, like I said, you can do it on your own as an individual Satanist. And if you join an organization of Satanists, and they are really a traditional satanic organization, guess what's going to be there? That satanic dedication rite's going to be there. Absolutely. It'll be the first thing before initiation. So whether you're doing it personally as an individual Satanist or an organizational Satanist, matters not. You're making that. You're doing that satanic dedication. Generally, it's with your own blood. Okay. Part giving of your own self. Okay. Number 6, makes sense that we're behind dedication. It's a satanic initiation rite. Now, again, this could be an individual if you're a solitary Satanist, an individual initiation rite that you decide you want to do to initiate these energies and powers within you, these satanic powers, or on an organizational level. You can receive satanic initiation in organizations too. And I'm going to get into something with that, okay? Because I wanted to talk a little bit about organizational Satanism, right? You got to realize something. When sometimes Satanists get off the beaten left-hand path, and they don't realize something. Just because we may choose to come together as Satanists in satanic unity doesn't mean we're not sovereign still, or individual Satanists first and foremost. We are. Remember Drew's conversation about the 13 stars in a circle, right? We're each one of those stars. Absolutely. Even if you're an organizational Satanist or a solitary Satanist, okay? So that's going to be important. That satanic initiation rite is very important. Whichever way you do it. Again, I want to say something else. The Brotherhood champions individual Satanists as well. Solitary Satanists as well. We even invite you to come as guests to our festivals. We would love to have you. Chances are you leave one of our fests you already want to join. Okay, because of the feelings and energies you're going to feel from your sisters and brothers. And being a part of something that's real. Okay. It's another issue later. But it's a good issue, isn't it? It's a good effect that the Brotherhood of Satan actually has on people. Really good effect. Again, though, you're thinking for yourself. You're still fully sovereign. Absolutely. Okay. Number 7. Now, this one can happen in satanic covens as well. Okay. And this would be normal to have that numerology 7, wouldn't it? that this is number 7. Receiving the devil's mark. There you go. In some covens, you're going to receive the devil's mark. In some organizations, you're going to receive the devil's mark. And there's a lot more to discuss with the devil's mark for sure. But you're going to receive the devil's mark. Or if you have a witch's mark already, okay, now sometimes the devil's mark is a tattoo, it's a coven symbol, lots of things, right? But if you have a particular birthmark, a witch's mark, a devil's mark already, okay, then that possibly could be rededicated to being your devil's mark, okay? Receiving the devil's mark, well, you already had it. But then you're actually putting the energy and you're charging it then, right? Okay, important thing to do. So you want to receive the devil's mark. Drew's got more than one. Okay. I've received the devil's mark in covens as well. Okay, I've got some scars from that actually. Okay. So number 8, we have setting up your personal satanic sanctum. Now that's important, whether you're a solitary organ or organizational Satanist, right? You want to have your personal ritual chamber. That's what a satanic sanctum is. It's your own place. Oftentimes you may have to hide it if you're not in a coven stead like I'm in, right? I'm at the national office. Our whole home is a coven stead. Okay. But in other instances, possibly you don't want your family to know, if they're not generationals especially, right? And you might have to keep things quiet because of a job or some guests that come over to your home or whatever. Keep your satanic sanctum in a secret place then. Drew will always tell you that. It's your place. Whether you want to have that satanic sanctum out there where everybody can see it, and you're proud of the fact that you have it or not, or if you feel like you have to also protect yourself in some measure, then you're going to put it in a secret place. That's, again, guess what? Up to the solitary or organizational Satanist. It's a personal choice. Personal choice of where you want to put your personal satanic sanctum. But that's a place you need to dedicate and consecrate it for that purposes of doing your personal rituals, right? Okay. Coven or individual. Okay. Number 9, satanic ritual study. You're definitely number 9. There we go. Okay, satanic ritual study. That's really important because you want to have some laid out rituals you're going to actually do, right? Whether you write them yourself, you take it from the Satanic Bible, or you have Brotherhood rituals you can use. Okay. But you want to have a curriculum of satanic rituals that you can study. And you know what I always tell Satanists? What works for you, keep doing it. Okay. So again, the different satanic rituals you may do are not only a structured ritual perhaps, but also a personal ritual that you yourself may want to create or write, right? And perform. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. In a brother to Satan, for instance, when you reach high priestess or high priest, which we call our infernal high clergy, when you reach that level, we know you know all the basics of satanic ritual. You've learned most of the Brotherhood rituals, not coven rituals per se, unless you apply for a coven. But you know all of our other rituals, right? Well, because we have a trust and belief in you that you know your ritual abilities, and we've seen them, of course, many times, because we do offline events for that purpose, actually. And, so your rituals then are going to be really, really important to you. That's going to be up to you to decide again. But when you reach high priestess, infernal high clergy, Brotherhood of Satan, we allow you to innovate. Because why? And it's not allowing you to. We acknowledge. It's not an allowing. It's an acknowledgement. We acknowledge what you know. Okay, what you've studied and know. Because basically, you've went through our Brotherhood School of Instruction, or you wouldn't have been a high priest or high priestess. So we already know, the basics and all the fundamental philosophy of Satanism, the practice of it, demonology, and all those things. There you go. And then you can innovate. A person of power can innovate whenever they want to. Pay attention to the details in your rituals, though. Those things are important. Okay. And be specific. All right. Number 10, developing your satanic rituals. Okay. So you previously, number 9, you're working on a curriculum of rituals that you want to perform, and you're working out and you're rewriting some, right? So as you go on, you're going to keep developing the satanic rituals, which is number 10, developing your satanic rituals, meaning practicing them. Practice makes perfect. The brothers always said this. And actually, that's a brother saying, which is way old and generational. Practice makes perfect. Why do we say that? Repetitive ritual is the way that you will definitely know that ritual. Okay. That's in all occult societies and lodges, in fact, that you're a member of as well as a Brotherhood of Satan, Satanic movement. All right. So you want to develop those rituals. Remember what I said. Use the ones that work best for you. And the Brotherhood goes a step further because our rituals, we have conjurations for 5 different things, manifesting things, right? 5. Okay. So yes, use the Brotherhood ones too. I'm not saying don't, but I'm saying develop the rituals that you're going to be working, especially if you're solitary, right? And you're not in an organization and you don't have access to those rituals as well, right? But remember, it's the Satanist performing that ritual that's key for that ritual totally, because you are on your path doing this. You're doing an external ritual presentation, right? You're doing it externally, but it's occurring inside you, in your black flame of Satan, your own temple. Okay. That's what the word initiation means. Inner. It's initiating. It's almost like igniting the black flame of Satan. It's initiating it in your soul. It's starting to get lit. There you go. And as you keep developing your satanic rituals, that black flame is going to start burning. Okay. When you connect that black flame with the mind too, the power of mind for a Satanist, you're going to go somewhere as a Satanist, my friends. Whether you remain an individual Satanist or you're an individual Satanist in an organization of Satanists. Okay. Either one. Number 11, you're going to want to know ritual attire. You want to develop your ritual attire, okay? Now you're going to see over here another cloak. You see a mask, right? You see things. Okay, you see what I'm wearing here, right? So your ritual attire, and the reason we wear black, for instance, right, is because we had to protect ourselves from persecution. So under the cover of darkness, right, we did our magic. Away from the prying eyes, for the most part, especially back in the day. Our rituals, our old covenant rituals, and our old rituals, sabbatical rituals, and satanic rituals, were always under the protection of darkness, right? And we blend in with the shadows when we become the darkness ourselves. We become shadow. So another thing to talk about in the future, okay? So ritual attire matters a lot. It doesn't have to necessarily be a hooded cloak, okay? It can be period clothing that you like. It could be something gothic, a gothic gown, for instance, for you ladies, right? It can be numerous things, period clothing. I wear kilts sometimes in ritual, actually. Believe it or not. Yeah, I do. Because my family has tartans and stuff. That's another story. So your ritual attire, again, I would say it's going to be personal. It's a personal choice, what you're going to wear. Brotherhood, we wear pretty much the same dark cloaks and that. We don't say it's got to be exclusively just this cloak or any other cloak. You know, dark cloak's fine. What you want to wear underneath is up to you. Well, you don't want to wear anything underneath is up to you. That's your choice. Okay. The ritual attire, something you're going to want to do, and there's that lucky 11, right? All the things you do before ritual, including setting up an altar, putting on your ritual garb, It's all part of ritual. You just don't know it yet, right? It's before the altar consecrations, to be sure, but you're already doing it. That's what Drew says. Be in sync. Connect mind, body, and spirit, right? Satan leads us to know how to do that. Okay. So, number 12, if ritual attire is important to us, in number 11, well, so would be our ritual tools, right? All those things would be important to us. And everything to a satanic witch can be a ritual tool. They can be household items. Wow, did you just say a household item? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. We have witches that are Brotherhood members that you wouldn't even know they're a member. You can walk in their house and everyday items are what they use in their magic. In fact, you'd think it's just an everyday item sitting there. It won't look like my office probably. But then I'm a master counselor, right? So, your ritual tools are going to be important. Your athame, right? All these things are going to be important. Over there, you see a chalice right there. Witch's broom, cords, scourge, right? Okay, candles, pentacle. All right. Rest of my case. So your ritual tools are going to be important. And again, even those, it's going to be a self-choice. That's how personal the craft is for you on a personal level. Because what are you really doing? You're crafting your life yourself and your magic as you becoming a Satanist. Okay. Those things are important to know. So your ritual things, they can be anything. They can be a little, they can be Baphomets. That's one right here on my desk. Okay. All of your ritual attire, all your ritual tools, all that's important, right? And as you go through your 13 steps of becoming a Satanist, 13 infernal steps, I like to call them, all these things are going to be things for you to consider. Whether you remain a solitary individual Satanist or join an organization of Satanists. Because why? The gnosis, the satanic gnosis, that current transmission of power and knowledge. Knowledge is power. It's so fucking important. Even talking about little things like tools like the sword right there. Okay. Satanic gnosis is very fucking important. All right. Number 13. And I have a special one for 13, of course, because this is very important. And I have described it to number 13 for a reason. Because to all Satanists, the demons, particularly theistic, right? Because if you have a real belief in Satan, you're going to have a real belief in who? Satan's and Lilith, Samael and Lilith's children. Right, Lilith's children. Okay. The demons. All right. Now, as an individual Satanist, it's sovereign. Even if you're part of an organization, oftentimes we're going to have an affinity with particular demons and demonesses on a personal level that we have a more stronger connection with, right? And we've learned that connection, and we feel it so strongly. Again, as Satanists, we're going to know it before anybody else knows it. So you have an affinity and a connection and alignment with a particular demon or demoness. That's important too, right? And so demonic guardians, guides, and those you have a demonic affinity with, you even demonic wards that protect you. Again, the demonic wards falls under guardian demons. Okay, they'll protect you from things. So again, 13th step. That rapport you have with the demons is important, like Drew's always stating. I don't just state it every so often, I state it all the time. Your personal rapport with the demons, right? So there's 13 steps of how to become a Satanist. You're going to lean to that. Now, myself in my satanic baptism, I was 3 years old, 1958. They attached an attendant demon to me right then. Beelzebub. Beelzebub. Fact, not fiction. Okay. And over the years, I got to learn who Beelzebub was, because Beelzebub actually visited me as a young child for many years in a reoccurring dream. Many years. Real spooky. So is there spooky stuff in generational Satanism? Oh, yeah, there certainly is. But it's meant for us personally, again. Remember, Satanism is about that individuality. So you're going to get that affinity with these demons, and the demons are going to teach you on a personal level too. That's why 13 is so important, right? And it's the 13th step. Aligning yourself with the proper powers of darkness. Okay. Thanks for your time today, everybody. I hope you got a little bit out of this. I wasn't trying to take everybody's time, but this was an interesting one. And I had to break it down and figure out the proper order and things like that I thought, this is a more proper order for us sharing some videos of this nature. And again, the Brotherhood does not, discount Satanists that want to be individual Satanists and work on their own. We don't discount them. We're for them just as much as any other real Satanist, okay? But there's the difference. If you really believe in Satan and you are theistic in nature, but you still choose to be solitary or an individual Satanist only, you're just doing your own practice, that's it. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. You deserve the freedom of belief that Satan represents. That freedom to use your own personal decisions on things, make your own personal satanic choices. After all, in the end, at the end of the 13 easy steps to become a Satanist, it becomes your own satanic path. You have to walk it. Others will be there to illuminate that satanic path for you. I'm one of those illuminators, a light bearer, so to speak. And understand the light exists within the darkness. Okay. So they complement each other. And there's, again, is the true balance of the Satanist. Okay. So number 13, demon guardians, those things are, when you hit that 13th step there, you have that affinity with them. You're going to learn over your years of becoming a Satanist and being and living a Satanist and actually gaining your experience because you are living it. You're going to start learning the demons. You'll learn which ones to use for what. You'll learn it. Don't disrespect the demons by not doing a study of them and asking them to do something another demon actually is known for. And there's nothing written ever out there about them being known for it. If they're not been ascribed, that their attributes are of this nature, don't ask them to do something that they're not known for. Okay. Again, goes back to satanic respect, right? So those are my basic 13 steps of how to become a Satanist, and 13 easy steps, like we said. And they just had to be organized a little bit in a proper manner for you. As a solitary Satanist, okay? Or as a Satanist that's an organizational Satanist that's still practicing on their own at home too, right? We all do or should be practicing on our own as well. Okay. That's why those 13 steps are important. And I wanted to actually add these on video, for a re-education process for everybody too. I think it was a great, subject that we talked about, at our meeting, and Drew said, "Oh, well, I'm going to make that happen." That's often what I do. And most of the time, what the Brotherhood wants to teach you, we're being told that this is what we should teach you. We are on that connection and that current, right? That we're on connected to that current, that vibration frequency of the Brotherhood. I'm going to know when and what to share. Count on it. And I hope that, all the things I do share, I don't mind taking my time and doing this. It's what my purpose is. It's what my destiny was and is. From a young child to today. It's what my destiny is. So, but the main thing about me, I'm going to make sure I present truth, okay? And I want you to have that open mind as a Satanist. You've got to have an open mind. Okay. And all these things that we present to you, from whether it's brotherhood presentation or an individual brotherhood clergy member teaching you something, we want you to take those in heart yourself, right? And take the best of information you run into, right? Take the best and what works for you and utilize it. It's what Satanists do. We don't sit on the sidelines doing nothing, right? We take action too in our lives. Now that personal effort done in combination with having the ritual and spellcraft knowledge, you're going to be a Satanist and a satanic witch of strong measure, because you've learned things in the right way on a personal level, which is where it first has to begin. Ave Satanis, everybody. I appreciate all your time today. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say today. We got some pretty cool things coming up. And again, we thank everybody that's given us messages and texts and stuff like that, and support recently. Especially, we're getting a lot of it lately. All of a sudden, we're getting a lot of interest in Brotherhood of Satan. Realize Drew and the Brotherhood of Satan national office don't just accept just anybody. There's going to be people that we don't accept, right? It's not $200 is more important to us than who we have as a member. It's never that way with the Brotherhood. Okay. So we're going to be bringing in better members as well. That's of course the best thing, because the Brotherhood of Satan is about something, and it's stronger. It's more than just ourselves. You know what it is? We want to create satanic leaders. We don't want satanic followers. We want satanic leaders. Hail Satan. You know why? Satanic leaders can get out there and be themselves. This is what we as Satanists are. Ourselves. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Be who you are. That's who Satan has favored. You. Hail Satan, everybody. Blessings, infernal blessings for myself and the Brotherhood. Ad majorum Satanae gloriam, to the greater glory of Satan always. May you all live long and prosper and be with good health and in good cheer. So mote it be, now and through eternity. Hail Satan!